The air in the interview room at Blackwood Penitentiary didn't just smell like stale coffee and bleach. It tasted like buried secrets. Special Agent Elias Thorne sat motionless, his fingers hovering millimeters away from the alarm button beneath the steel table. Across from him, Marcus Vane, a man convicted of 7 ritualistic homicides, was tracing the grain of the wooden table with a manicured fingernail. Vane was lean, soft-spoken, and possessed a gaze that felt like a surgical blade peeling back layers of Thorne's skin. The shift change. It's a 14-minute window, Elias. The guards are currently drinking tepid coffee in the break room, oblivious to the fact that their prize student is about to become a case file. Thorne's heart hammered against his ribs. He had pressed the alarm button twice. Silence was the only answer. "Why me?" Thorne asked, his voice steady despite the adrenaline flooding his veins. Vane leaned forward, the shadows of the flickering overhead light carving deep hollows into his face. "Because you look for patterns in chaos, Agent. You think you're profiling a monster, but you're really just staring into a mirror that refuses to show your reflection." Vane stood up. He didn't rush. He moved with the predatory grace of a panther. Thorne instinctively reached for his side, but his holster was empty. Standard procedure for the high-security wing. Imagine. The cameras are looping a recording. The sound is cut. In this room, God isn't watching, only physics. Thorne felt Vane's cold breath against his ear. "I could crush your windpipe before you could even draw a breath. I could turn this room into a slaughterhouse. And by the time they unlocked that door, I'd be sitting back in this chair, waiting to explain to the warden exactly why you were the one who snapped." Thorne didn't turn around. He didn't scream. He remembered his training, but more importantly, he remembered his humanity. He kept his eyes locked on the empty chair in front of him, breathing rhythmically. He knew that the moment he showed fear, he was dead. He didn't run. He didn't beg. He simply asked, "Tell me about the girl in the orchard, Marcus. What was the last thing she said?" Vane stopped. The hand resting on Thorne's shoulder tensed, then relaxed. A low, haunting laugh filled the room. The heavy steel door clanged open. 2 guards burst in, weapons drawn, confusion etched on their faces. Vane immediately sat back down, folding his hands on the table with a saintly smile. He looked at the guards, then back at Thorne. His eyes twinkled with malice. "Gentlemen, your colleague was just asking about the beauty of life. He's quite the philosopher, isn't he?" As the guards escorted Thorne out, Vane leaned toward him one last time. "Next time, Agent, bring a weapon. It makes the game so much more honest." Thorne walked out of the prison that night. The cold rain of the Pacific Northwest hit his face. He hadn't been touched, but he was changed. He walked to his car, pulled out his logbook, and wrote one sentence. A rule that would govern the rest of his career. Never mistake a monster's silence for his submission.